Hi there. Today, our team is presenting Moorup's opportunity to partner with ANZ, an affordable, sustainable solution that aligns with ANZ's commitment. I'm Isabel, and alongside with Sindhu, Sarah, and Steph, we will be walking you through this proposal. I will introduce Moorup, the target opportunity, and why ANZ is an ideal business to target. My team will then cover ANZ's specific needs, the rationale behind the proposal, and the key decision makers involved. The refurbished smartphone market is growing over 10% annually as businesses embrace circular economy models to cut costs and reduce e waste. With a net zero carbon dioxide emissions target by 2050, ANZ naturally aligns with Moorup. ANZ's employee base of over 42,000 people includes thousands who require smartphones for daily operations, especially in the industries of sales, marketing, and client facing roles. Therefore, ANZ can meet their tech needs and make strides towards their sustainability and cost saving goals. So, why are ANZ and Moorup the perfect match? Well, let me tell you. As a certified B Corp business, Moorup meets the highest environmental and ethical standards. They've also refurbished phones produce 80% less carbon dioxide emissions, and they cost 30 to 50% less than new models, which is particularly important to ANZ as in the last 5 years they have invested 2.5 billion in technology. More up certified data wiping and warranties will also ensure security and reliability. But last, they also provide sustainability impacts and reports, which will enhance ANZ's ESG reporting, which is very important to them. This partnership offers a practical, sustainable, and financially smart solution, making Moorup the ideal partner for ANZ.
Let's establish why ANZ is considered the ideal partner for Moorup. ANZ is recognised as one of the biggest financial institutions in both Australia and New Zealand, with technology playing an integral role in their company. As the bank continues to expand, they require a greater number of phones to provide the employees with, which frequently need replacing. E-waste is a growing concern, and having over 40,000 employees, ANZ and Moorup can work together adopting a refurbished phone strategy. This will encourage consumers to recognise the lengths that both businesses are willing to go to in order to reduce their environmental impact, while assisting ANZ to cut costs. The financial savings from this initiative will allow ANZ to further invest in their objective to fund and facilitate at least $50 billion in sustainable solutions for the customers. ANZ have the opportunity to further their sustainability leadership through collaborating with Moorup, along with an increased chance of meeting their environmental goals sooner and being seen as a greater threat to competitors. The cost-saving refurbished phone strategy collaboration between Moorup and ANZ will lead to greater financial efficiency. Being offered to save 30 to 50% on technology means they'll have the opportunity to divert their money savings into other aspects of the business, such as interest paid on deposits. Introducing refurbished smartphones into the business means that ANZ can reinforce their positive contribution to acting sustainably. At Moorup, we value security. The refurbishment of devices entails certified data wiping, along with device warranties aligning with ANZ's compliance desires. This will provide employees with reliable and high-performance technology without having to worry about cybersecurity concerns. Moorup will positively contribute to ANZ's financial, operational, and environmental objectives.
In this section, we're going to talk about why ANZ would be the perfect partner for Moorup. We have five scorecard elements here, and the first segment is organizational basics. We gave both sections a yes because ANZ does hold 800 billion in gross loans and advances, 715 in customer deposits, and although the APRA, which is the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority, imposed a 1 billion capital add-on, it ANZ is still deemed financially sound, and this solid financial base positions ANZ as a strong candidate for our opportunity evaluation. Coming to the second segment, we have operating environment. We gave it a 2 out of 2 because although the APRA did impose 1 billion capital add-on due to governance failures by the ANZ, it is going through a bit of a reformation from the review of Oliver Wyman, who said that ANC has initiated a cultural and operational overhaul with key leadership changes, including the appointment of Mark Evans as head of non-financial risk and Dan Wong as group general manager of operational risk. And this underscores that ANC is going through a transformation. Unfortunately, coming to the third segment, it did get a low score of 3 out of 9 because ANZ did overstate their bond trading data, which was actually supposed to be 137.6 billion for the financial year 2023, but instead of that, the actual amount was 83.2 billion, which caused a discrepancy of 54.4 billion, which is a big mistake. Also, we have internal misconduct, which was reviewed by Oliver Wyman, and he found that leadership and infrastructure failures in the markets unit allowed misconduct, including bullying and substance abuse, to persist. That's why it gets a low score. Moving on to the receptivity to new or disruptive ideas, we gave it a 12 on 12 because ANZ has accepted all findings from the review and is committed to fully changing and recommending changes. We also have ESG and sustainability focus. The bank actively participates in international ESG frameworks, including the NZBA, Net Zero Banking Alliance, GFANZ, Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero, ISSB, and TNFD. Coming to the last point, we have potential for emerging needs. We have 15 out of 15 here because ANZ is rolling out 5-year climate and environment strategy that includes clear divisional action plans, ongoing regulatory engagement, and also leadership from figures such as Mark Evans and Dan Wong. Now, combining all the scores, we get a 25 out of 29, and obviously, anything about 20 plus is push with all resources. So, we do suggest that ANZ is a good and likely partner for Mura.
Within ANZ's buying centre, there are a variety of departments involved, who would all have input in the decision if they were to partner with Moorup. As the deciders, there are ANZ senior executives or managers who would have the final say in the purchase decision. Then, the initiators for this decision would be the department heads or employees who personally have a need for new phones as it is involved in their day-to-day jobs. Then, the gatekeepers, who involve their supplier relations manager, who will be responsible for filtering through the proposals to decide who is of interest and who is not. Next is the influencers of this purchase, who will be the IT department or director, the head of risk assessment, and also their legal team, as they will be responsible for weighing the pros and cons for the choice and looking at what would be most beneficial for the company. The users of the product would be the employees who are provided with the refurbished phones. For ANZ, this would likely be their customer service team, operations manager, and other higher-ups who require a phone for their role. Finally, the buyers on behalf of ANZ are their purchasing department and procurement team, who will personally be managing the transaction. The primary contact person would be the head of the purchasing department or procurement team, since they would be managing the transaction. The head of procurement at ANZ is Tatiana Mastandria. As the head of procurement, their social style is likely a driver, as they will be involved in many significant decisions for the company, so it requires skills to be able to manage the supplier and the transition of the acquisition into the company. As a driver, the head of procurement would likely be decisive, focus on finding quick solutions, and have a focus on benefits and results for the company. This would work well for a partnership between Moorup and ANZ, since Moorup's technology is well researched and has a variety of security features and is cost efficient, all of which would make it appealing to ANZ and the head of procurement, since they will be able to answer any questions or concerns they may have, further appealing to the driver style.